Welcome guys back in this very interesting video. The reason I'm saying it is interesting or will be interesting because that car was with us already. It came for diagnostics. We've done the diagnostics. We told the customer, the owner, what it needs to be done, and then he changed his mind. But now he's back. So let me switch the camera and show you what is wrong with it and what's gonna happen to it. So let me tell you all that I know about this one. Let me begin with the camshaft. So I will try to edit a picture here because this valve cover has been removed, even though you may think it hasn't been, because it still has that OEM original silicone sealant bubble sticking out from underneath the valve cover. But I know it has been removed because the owner told me and showed picture as well. So just what happened, the guys didn't they didn't clean the silicone sealant from there and probably from the other areas. Doesn't matter, we're gonna get that done. However, when the owner was here and he told me that it was removed and he said the camshaft is not worn, I asked him if he can show me pictures. The first picture he showed me, I could straight away tell the camshaft was worn. As I said, I'll try to edit a picture of it here, but once I remove it, I'll show you again so that you can see yourself as well. That is one thing I've noticed. Another thing, very likely carbon cleaning has been done to it. I can't remember if the owner confirmed that, but I'll try to shine a light there. You must, or you should see, let me try with different zoom. Yeah, now you can see there is a tab on that plastic coupling in here, and that doesn't align or doesn't go where it should, so that should go all the way up. It's not all the way up. We're going to get that corrected. Another thing, or I would call major red flag, if you see that on the Skyactiv engines, is this. This is an aftermarket cap, radiator cap. If you see this and you're buying the car, run, because definitely has a head gasket issue. This case is a bit different because, as I said, the owner already been to us and we done the head gasket test and the color didn't change, even though you can see these white dot marks, meaning that coolant was oversprayed somewhere on the engine bay. However, it doesn't change the color. We're going to get that tested and check and try to diagnose it. But as I said, the red flag, two red flags: this cap, meaning head gasket, and also if the engine bay is too clean or you see these white dots, that means it has a head gasket. At some point of its life, it sprayed the coolant all over the engine bay. But now let me tell you why it came in the first place. So basically, for the camshaft, because we know that it is worn, and also when it does the DPF region, the car is shaking when you accelerate or press the throttle a bit harder. It is shaking, jerking. Also, the owner told us that the 4 injectors has been replaced with used ones. I'm not sure if all 4. I can see these 3 look like the same color, but this has a different, the number 4 has a different shade of that brownish color. What I want to still check with the dense diagnostic tool, because here's one is more advanced, I want to check if it has been coded to the car or not. However, what I've done so far, I've checked the live data, and from that what I could see, oil pressure is fine, which is a good thing. However, I could see the vacuum pump values are a bit higher or quite higher, even though it doesn't throw a vacuum pump fault code. That could be not that it's not throwing code, but the vacuum pump values could be high because of the worn camshaft. And also I've done the pilot learning on this one. So basically I got the engine up to temp and I tried to do the pilot learning. And so how I do it, basically I put a jumper wire in here, leave it there and connect it, like tap it 5 times quickly to the negative terminal of the battery, and that it will initiate the pilot learning. You will see the glow plug mark or sign in the dash or on the dash, and the car should rev a few times and it adjusts itself itself, and when that is done, the glow plug light flashes 5 times and it indicates it has been successful. But now let me jump into the inside the cabin and show you the live data, what I can see and what my suspicion is, why all these things are wrong and what may be causing it. So this is what the dashboard looks like when the engine is running. As you can see, bunch of warning lights, the red triangle, the glow plug light and the engine check engine light. Let me show you the fault codes I'm having. It is P1200 and P0087. Keep in mind that these fault codes weren't present when the car came to us. They are only present at the moment because I've tried to do the pilot learning for the injectors and it didn't go through. That's why we're having the fault codes. But let me show you the live data values. I want to show you the brake booster, pressure sensor values. Have a look at it. It stagnates at 15. It doesn't throw a fault code for it, but in my opinion that is bad. I can try to do and test it, but I'm quite confident it will be bad because of the worn camshaft. And also the reason I've done the pilot learning, as you can see, the oil pressure is fine, temperature is okay, exhaust pressure sensor values are fine because it has a new upgraded metal sensor. DPF sensor values are fine. And now let me show you. So this is the reason, as you can see, the injector learning values are all 0, which means they have been reset, but haven't been relearned after that reset. So that's why I tried to do it, but it didn't let me. And the other values, even the correction factors are not the greatest. As you can see, the number 2 is quite high on the negative side, but the value is changing quite a lot, as you can see. So now let me switch the camera and talk a little bit what my suspicion is. So what I think personally is wrong with the car, definitely the camshaft, but I don't think that it's the problem of the camshaft only. Obviously we're going to replace the camshaft first and take it for a test drive and check it, because we know for the fact that the camshaft is worn and it may cause that problem. However, my suspicion is that even though the owner replaced the injectors, they are still not good, and that's why the car is shaking when it's doing the DPF regen. But before I start anything, I'll connect the dense scan tool and check the coded values of the injectors if they match with what is in the ECU and what's on the injectors. And after that I'm going to disassemble the car, meaning the top. So remove the valve cover, swap the exhaust camshaft, code the injectors if they need coding, and take it for a test drive and try to do the pilot learning. And after that I'll report back to you guys. But obviously you'll see underneath the valve cover how the things look like as well, and also I'll let you know if the injectors were coded to the car. I am checking the I'm checking the coding of the injectors, and I can confirm all these numbers match the ones are on the injectors. I'm not gonna show you that because you won't see it anyways, but those are the numbers. They are upside down for you, but yeah, I can confirm that these numbers match the ones on the injectors. Obviously the reason why the pilot learning is not going through because the warning exhaust camshaft. So that's the first thing. I'm going to swap that, see if it lets the pilot learning to go through. And also the shaking could be because of that pipe is getting like air sucked into the intake system, extra air which is unmetered. That can be the cause as well. So this one will be quite interesting video. Stay tuned if you want to see how the things turn out. I have removed the valve cover, and as I said and expected, the camshaft is worn. I'll show you that in a bit. But what I wanted to say, it looks quite clean. So the guys, either they did clean it or it was clean like that. It looks okay. And now let me show you where the camshaft wear is quite visible. You see those 4 lips of the camshaft lobe. I'm going to insert a screwdriver in there. That is a wear, guys. So you shouldn't be able to insert anything in here. It should be like flush like here, or flush like basic like this. Top of the camshaft lobe, this is flush. Let's say if this would be worn, I could insert the screwdriver in here and it would have lips on the 2 sides. That is the camshaft wear. If someone don't know, or mechanics don't know, that this is a wear that's going to be replaced. I'm gonna call the owner and ask him about the vacuum pump. I recommend getting that replaced as well. And once these things are done, refitted, I'm going to start the car, check it. I'm going to do it without actually fitting that one back, because I want to see if the pilot learning would go through. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I want to see if during the region it will do that juddering, shaking as well or not. So stay tuned. After I replace the camshafts, I'll show you how they look like, and then going to refit the valve cover, and shortly I'm going to start the car up. So funny thing, I noticed that there are 3 clamps on the exhaust pressure sensor rubber hose. I'm gonna correct that as well, and obviously check the pipe for blockage. From the live data there isn't any, but again I'm gonna check it anyways if I'm here already, and yeah, then I'm going to refit all the remaining bits. A funny thing happened, which is not so funny for us, neither for the owner, but that pipe, the exhaust pressure sensor pipe, has a hole in it, because as Dan was heating it up and blowing air through it developed a hole. So I'm going to give Dan the camera and he'll try to show it to you guys so that you can see it as well. I think you can see it there. So this is how every 2-bolt or nut job turns into a nightmare, because that it will be a real pain in the ass to remove that freaking little pipe. So good luck then. So guys, the camshaft is in, and have a look, take a peek if you can see if there is anything wrong. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me show you. Guess how it happened? Basically, because the old camshaft was so worn, the valves weren't pushed down enough, and like when we replaced the camshaft, I tried to turn the engine, couldn't do, then helped me with the help of a spanner on here, and then we broke this one in half. I've tried to turn again just to see if any others are stuck. This one is stuck as well. We're not gonna carry on. Yeah, and let me show you something else as well. Let's have a look at Dan. He's struggling. He burnt a hole into that exhaust pressure sensor pipe, into that bloody pipe. He's removing it. He's managed to remove 3 bolts so far. Very yeah, very good. Very good performance of him, of me as well. So yeah, sometimes things don't turn out as we want them to turn out, and as there is a saying in our language, we need to stop or finish at the top of the mountain. So I think we're going to call it a day. We're going home. We are tired. We are not lucky today. So this video will be continued, how I get on with that white Mazda, and this one, Dan's story, will be in a different video covered as well. Dan managed to remove the pipe in 1 hour 15 minutes as he said, and let's have a look where the hole is. Yeah, it's not that funny as it seems it is, because now it needs to be put back, but that's going to be done tomorrow, seriously, 100%. we are going home.